Hey gang, today I'm going to show you how to use the Wagner Power Tex, but most importantly, I'm going to show you how to mix your mud so that you'll get great results with this Wagner. This is probably the most important thing to know when using the Wagner Power Tex is how to mix that mud. Right here on the instructions, you're going to see that it has settings for the acoustic, the orange peel, and the knockdown. And it tells you which nozzle to use with for the type of texture you want. And I found this is pretty accurate. So you're going to want to follow this. So then you're going to get a pail of all-purpose. Joint compound. And the reason I use all purpose is because um, it has more glue in it, more binders, and it sticks better. Now your wall should be primed. Some people prime after texture. I prime before texture. And you're on a primed wall, all purpose is going to stick the best and give you good results. So as you see here, I've started a new pail, the water in it, and still way too thick. Way too thick. Now this would be great probably for spreading with a trowel, but we're not spreading with a trowel. As you can see, it's not even coming off the mixer right there. So I'm going to you add just a little bit at a time because it's real easy to add too much. And then we're going to go back at it again. And this will take several times. This several minutes later. I've added quite a bit of water. This pail is getting thinned out really well. This is how I'm going to test it. I'm going to take my drywall knife when I think it's about ready. And you'll see here in just a few seconds. See, it's kind of running off. I'm always afraid I'm going to get it too thin. It's never happened, but I'm always afraid I'm going to get it too thin. And so sometimes I end up with really thick mud. But you'll see here, it'll come off the knife pretty well. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. Should have went just a tad bit thinner in retrospect, but it's a trial and error thing. Here I am fixing to pour it into the hopper. And it would be good. Like I said, I've used Power Tex over 10 years. This is a new one. It would be good if you're starting out, just pour a little bit in and try it on a scrap piece of drywall or a scrap piece of plywood or something to see what kind of texture you get. Right here I'm starting out with a black tip according to the instructions. Later on I actually went with a yellow tip. I wasn't the one thing important is when you start getting good spray pattern, you got to stop and clean that tip. Because it does get a lot of drywall mud around it and doesn't want to spray. So right here I'm fixing to try it out on a cricket or something. Just an unlucky cricket. I blew him off, I think. No, he's still starting. He'll jump here in a minute. So there he went. It's pretty decent. You want to get fairly close to begin with because don't get too far away or most of it end up on the floor. And really should have been on a ladder. I like to hold the gun horizontal. That's the best way to do it, like I am now. Sometimes I get lazy though, and I don't want to get a ladder, and I'll angle it up. But it really shoots the best right here, like this. Now, as I went on, like I said, the tip started getting clogged up. Took it off, cleaned it a couple times, and you really need to do that. So now, another little trick. I like to mix the thin splatters with the really thick. I think you get the best looking texture. So I will start releasing that gun. You can see me releasing it there. And when you release the trigger of the Wagner, you get the big splotches coming out. as you get that little burst of air, it'll blow it out. So remember that if it's not as heavy as you want, start releasing the trigger. And you can see here, this is same wall, going a little thinner. I'm just on down, see me right there. Released it, got a big splatter. Gonna release it some more, and try to, like I said, try to hold it horizontally. This is on down the wall. My tip's getting clogged up, and it's getting hard to get a good pattern, good thick pattern. See, there I go. Release that big splotch. So you want to keep this in mind. I probably should have started out with a yellow, but even the yellow will get clogged up and not lay out a good texture. There we go, just releasing the trigger, blowing out some big splotches. And this can happen if you got a big area and you know, if you got a big area and your tip starts getting clogged up, you're just not getting the material through there as you was when it's clean. So sometimes stop and clean it. Now I've blown the wall. This is, I wait about 10 minutes and I start knocking it down with a drywall knife. Now this is Knockdown Texture. I'm sitting here, and if I'm interrupted, it's because I'm getting bit on the back by something. So must be a little spider or something. But anyway, you can see this texture is pretty good. So could be heavier in some places, but this will work. So I appreciate y'all. Alrighty, here's the first coat on this Wagner, where I textured it with Wagner. Here's the original wall. I don't know if I can catch this. It's daylight, but I don't know if I can get the texture. It's pretty doggone close. I didn't want it as heavy as this. Anyway, I wanted it close. You can see I still got some second coat to get the rest of those shiners. But you can see it's really close. Now this is where I started. Let's see, did I start there? Let's see. Yeah, I started here with a black tip. And you can see it looks good there. Looks really good there. And in the kitchen is where I changed over to the yellow tip because the black one was just getting sucked up full of crud. So, or not crud, just I think I mentioned it before, or I will, I can't remember. But anyway, when you use that Wagner Power Tex for a wall, in the nozzle around that ring, it will get some, start getting built up full of drywall mud that isn't, oops, there's a place I gotta fix. Drywall mud start building up around the inside ring, and it will cut down the amount that volume of your texture coming out, and it affect it. But this is really good. This is what I like. Just a little bit of knockdown. See, this is what I was going for right there. Anyway, I just thought I'd show y'all. I know everybody likes to see the finished results. There's another shiner. Actually, it's just a place I missed. It's not a shiner, but with the roller. But like I said, this has got the second coat coming tomorrow. I just wanted to show y'all this. I don't know if you can catch that. Show y'all this knockdown that with Wagner. Now, in here in the kitchen, you can see it's when I switched over to the yellow one, because I didn't like how much mud I was getting out of it. Now it's a heavier texture, but it does really good. And for 90 bucks, I mean, hell, what is that? That is what, 4 or 5 cans of spray texture. Really, really worth it. So anyway, hey y'all, like and subscribe. Put me on the playlist. And click the little bell icon so you'll get notified next time I post a video. So appreciate it. And a link to the Wagner Power Tex sprayer is in the link below if you want to check the price on it, or you're thinking about buying one. So so far Amazon has a lot better price than any place local. So anyway, Donald, Blue Collar DIY, I'm gone.